7.2, Andrea Nemtin from Social Innovation Canada, respecting the Hamilton Transit-Oriented Affordable Housing Initiative and Pilot Fund. Welcome, Andrea. Good morning. And whenever you're ready, please go ahead.
Thank you. My name's Andrea Nemtin from Social Innovation Canada. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Social Innovation Lab we've been doing, the Transit-Oriented Affordable Housing Lab that was created as part of the Hamilton Sustainability and Investment Roadmap to develop innovative financing approaches and funding pathways to transit-oriented affordable housing. The project was funded by the CMHC with contributions with the Hamilton Community Foundation and was a collaboration between the CMHC, Hamilton Community Foundation, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, Housing Evidence Collaborative, and the Housing Secretariat, with participation from Hamilton is home, many of the non-market housing providers in the city, as well as the financial institutions, credit unions, and city, Meridian, First Ontario. We also brought in the Builders Association, Infrastructure Ontario, CUDA, and the Hamilton Community Benefits Network. The approach was to have a number of different folks from across the spectrum to design the solution. The work took place over 18 months and consisted of research and design sessions. The Housing Secretariat participated in all of the design sessions, as well as was part of the core working group that met almost weekly. Through these meetings, we worked with housing providers to understand the financing gaps and design an investment fund modeling on actual projects that needed financing at the time. Projects that were struggling to get made, many of which you know. We designed an $18.7, almost $20 million investment fund to work alongside the city's granting program. This is known as the social finance sector as a blended capital approach. What we found in those design sessions was that the non-market housing providers had very specific needs for financing, little gaps that were getting in the way of projects getting done, stopping shovels from getting in the ground. They were needed for cash flow, they needed some kinds of lower interest term loans. I won't go into the technicals because I only have 5 minutes, but I can talk for a long time about this with anybody who wants to. The proven model is a revolving fund. It's done across the US. In Europe, it uses federal funds to then crowd in private capital. It's designed to provide the risk and return for the private market that they require, as well as the flexibility and the lower cost of capital for the non-market housing providers. It does this with a layer of non-interest-bearing capital that takes the first loss. So it works on both the risk and the return element. Providing federal dollars and others. So the Social Finance Fund and the CMHC would be involved in the next round of this. So what it allows is for the Housing Secretariat to take $4 million of granting and leverage it and work with $15 million of below market investment to help the projects that need to get done get made. The project's designed with the Secretariat and would work collaboratively. Independent decisions, so that the granting decisions are independent from the financing decisions, which are from an investment committee, but done collaboratively so that the granting dollars are extended further and the investment dollars are actually able to flow because the numbers start to make sense. It allows more resources to build more units more quickly, where they are needed most. The housing crisis is being felt across the country in every municipality. Hamilton would be the first city to actually start to address the transit-oriented affordable housing needs. It turns out that although we desperately need transit for so many reasons to connect people, to deal with sustainability, when we do transit development, our affordable housing challenges get worse because of displacement and gentrification. And so what we've designed here with the Housing Secretariat would actually interrupt that cycle, because it would provide the needed financing to the non-market providers to be able to create and preserve units during that development alongside of it. We're currently looking for a fund manager. We will continue the raise and complete it in the new year and hope to launch the fund in the spring, at which point, and the Housing Secretariat has been alongside us the whole way. The model is ultimately scalable and replicable and can grow to the needs of the city. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I do have one speaker, Councillor Wang, if you have a question.
Thank you for your presentation. I am super excited about this opportunity. I'm interested in understanding a little bit more about the fund. You said something about crowd, and so it immediately took me to, is there an opportunity for crowdfunding as part of the mix in terms of how you're raising this fund?
For this fund, it's not a retail investment. It's specifically designed to attract institutional investors.
Okay.
But there are other tools that I have colleagues across the country, and specifically Tapestry, who's currently doing one project with Indwell that's doing community housing bonds. So what that allows is actually for the housing providers 2 different places to go and a little bit more autonomy. So the crowdfunding works best on a project-by-project basis. And then this would work as an actual fund that would then work alongside those dollars.
Amazing.
I mean, in the long run, it could, but at this point, it wouldn't have capacity yet.
Okay. My second question through you, Chair, is as you're putting together this institutional fund, how will you be leveraging other departments? I think, for example, I know Sault Ste. Marie is doing the affordable housing home ownership plan, which actually has a leverage of ESDC, so human resources, the opportunity of bringing in labor, and there's an education component to it.
Yeah.
Does that factor into any of this, any of your programming at all?
There are so many amazing projects like that. And Sault Ste. Marie is one of the examples, and there's another one in Liscard and others in Manitoba. This would really strictly be an investment fund, but it would work alongside those.
Amazing.
And so it would be very much in coordination. I think that building piece is really at the project level again by those developers who are working. And I think that Mohawk was very interested in a program like that with their mobile schools where they could actually, and potentially even use some of the robotics that are building homes now. It's and modular. There's so many, I just want to say, Hamilton is unique in your position and ability to actually solve this problem. I've been across the country. You have one of the most robust non-market housing sectors, robust and organized. It's a model for others across the country. And your philanthropic commitment is so sophisticated, and your roadmap gives you a long-term plan. So I think you should feel very excited about you're quite far ahead of others, I think.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
Okay.
Thank you, Councillor. Seeing no further speakers, so thank you for your presentation, Andrea.
My pleasure.
Need a mover and a seconder to receive the delegation. Moved by Councillor Alex Wilson, seconded by Councillor Wang. All in favor or opposed?